What did Jimmy Johnson say? How about that? My goodness. I know Arizona was, a trap game last year, week 3, but are the Saints that good, or are we still that porous on defense? I don't know. That was too reminiscent to the game in January at home against Green Bay. Different defensive coordinator, different talent on the defensive side of the ball. Actually have linebackers this year. Still couldn't stop the run, couldn't stop a nosebleed. On offense, our first 4 drives we did score until Jalen Tolbert slips and the ball gets picked. But offense could have been better. But when your defense can't stop a nosebleed, and the defense wasn't gassed, because when we were down 28-13, we still had like double time of possession almost. So defense had a 1-yard drive and a 4-yard drive, back-to-back drives, and our offense held on to the ball, couldn't punch it in the end zone. Don't know what looks more worrisome, offense or that defense. I mean, understandably, no DeRon Bland's out there, but they didn't have their top corner out there. DeRon Bland's out our top corners. Diggs is. Kalen Carson looked good enough week 1. He could hang with Amari and Jerry Jeudy. It looked like on defense, Mike Zimmer was just out-schemed, because touchdowns 2 and 3 by the Saints were just, the plays were drawn perfect. The second touchdown to Rashid, that was a post, splitting the safeties. I know Wilson and Hooker have to see that coming. I mean, come on. And the third touchdown was let the blitz get through and then hit, Kamara on that, screen up the middle, and he took it to the house. 44-19, but the score could have been worse. Now it's either, I don't know. Only time will tell. It was a crazy Sunday. We're the only favorites that got stomped like that. San Fran did lose at Minnesota, and Detroit lost at home against Tampa. Both narrow losses. And then Baltimore blows a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter against the Las Vegas Raiders. And we play next week. So it would be 0-2 Ravens coming into our house. They don't look like the number 1 seed of last year, as we don't look like the number 2 seed of last year as of right now. Still early in the season. We restructured Terrence Steele's contract, right? So that opened up we had over $20 million in cap space. Is the front office waiting to see something like this happen before they make a big move? Trade, I don't know. But this is who the Cowboys are. They can play a game like this, and then next week eke it out against Baltimore, which would still be a good win. Baltimore is no pushover. They played Kansas City week 1. The loss to the Raiders was surprising. I mean, they had a 10-point lead late in the game. They blew it. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. I remember in 2014, we swept all the road games and we split at home. We seemed to be a road team that season. The last 2 years we've been a home team. 16 in a row at the crib, regular season. But the last 2 playoff game and regular season games have been just complete wipeouts. Is New Orleans that good? Yeah. They play. I think New Orleans plays San Fran next week. So I don't know. It's early in the season. I mean, every 1 year to the next, things can change. I remember 2003, the Patriots week 1 opened up against Buffalo, got blown out 38-3. And in the last game of the season, they gave it back to the Bills 38-3. When Lawyer Malloy, got traded or whatnot. But I don't know. I didn't like what I saw today. I'd usually be in a lot worse mood if I didn't have a whole lot going on this week, securing the new crib and whatnot. Like, a lot's happening, and it's been a 3-week overlap from house to house. So that could be a little stressful. Or usually on losses like this, I go freaking nuts. If y'all ever watch my content. But couldn't stop the run for nothing. I know the Saints ran for $180 on Carolina, put up 47 on Carolina, and we were chalking that up because it was Carolina, right? I mean, they got blown out by the Chargers today. But then they come into our house and they look like Sean Payton and Drew Brees, 2018 Saints. We did beat them that year, or, you know, it just looked like Sean Payton offense. Gary Kubiak's son being the head coach of that team now has him looking pretty good. And I know they have, you know, a big front four on defense, but that offensive line, I mean, we had 6 sacks, 1 million pressures last week in the fourth quarter. Mid-fourth quarter, we had only 3 pressures. We didn't get close to Derek Carr. Alvin Kamara just ran all over us like, hell, Green Bay's running back, can't think of his name right now. Didn't playoff game. I mean, he had 4 tubs, kind of like James Cook with Buffalo did against us last season. And when I flew to, yeah, bad game. All the prognosticators picked Dallas this season. I mean, this week. Even though the Saints look just as good week 1. Maybe a big road win at Cleveland. You know, they were feeling themselves too much. Everybody was talking about week 3 against Baltimore. That being, you know, the statement game, when actually today was a statement game. Baltimore's 0-2. The Saints are 2-0 with 2 consecutive blowout wins. So, yeah. If you're going to watch the Talking Heads this week, there's going to be a lot of crucifying going on. And I ain't going to watch anything that Stephen A's on, that's for damn sure. It's very odd to see us go to Cleveland, play the way we did, defensively, offensively. I mean, it wasn't dynamite on offense, but just to get blown out of the water at home, 2nd consecutive home game, even though they're 9 months apart. Not a good look. But then we'll see what we look like next week. Next week we'll see. This team is like the freaking stock market. It'll go up and down. I predicted 12 wins. That's yet to be determined. We'll see, guys. I'll catch y'all later. Charles in charge. Cowboys, Warriors out.